we're in need of a Bloody Mary and some jelly donuts. So this filming will go fast.
You heard it preached on.
We're looking at two wonderful objects by Philippe Starck,
We are.
who's had such an enormous impact during these 2 decades in Europe.
Yes, he's the first superstar of the kind of late 80s and beyond. And as you say, we've got here some of the most iconic pieces, really.
Yeah. And I think it's also interesting, too, the whole relationship with Alessi. And when you think in that period in the 80s with Alessi and Swid Powell, how they really began to change the whole tableware field, if you want to call it that, by bringing in all of these designers and really creating objects that become, sort of design icons.
Yes, I think without those manufacturers committing themselves, you wouldn't have pieces like these. You'd have one-off art pieces, but you wouldn't have these production pieces in the same way.
Yeah. So, but I think what's particularly interesting with Starck too is, this is supposedly a tea kettle, but how do you actually use it? Putting water in here, holding it, pouring out, but also he begins to use these forms that he keeps repeating in lights or buildings and various scales.
I think that's right, and I think what you're getting with Starck, as you are with several of these people moving beyond modernism, is a combination of a functional object which works in the sense that it has all the right bits, but it's much, much more than that. It's symbolic, and it's his mark as a kind of superstar designer, creating an icon that becomes synonymous with him, really.
Yeah, and when he will later use this as a light for floss.
Indeed,
which we also
becomes
have
a building in Tokyo. It becomes a whole set of other kind of objects. Becomes his marker.
Yeah. So, I think the Bertaa is really a wonderful form, and to have it in the two colors is also quite fantastic. And then the Colander, which is, it's very wonderful with the liner in it, and yet the character of it changes so much when the light goes through it, and you start seeing almost the little heads here and the graduated dots and all.
Yes, it's another great example of a simple object, really. I mean, it doesn't need to do much other than let water fall through it. So it does that, but it does so much more as well. It sits there on your kitchen surface as a piece of sculpture.
And it can also be a centerpiece when you suddenly put the plastic back in it, and it changes the design so dramatically.
Different object there again, doesn't it? Very much so. And strikingly beautiful, yeah.